have you given a whole lot of thought or any kind of clarity on what kind of offensive style you'll run? I know you've talked about a blend, but do you know kind of a way to describe what kind of offensive style you're looking to run?
Yeah, I think we want to play an up-tempo style. We want to push the ball and transition and play in the open court. And in the half court, we want to make quick decisions, space the floor, and take advantage of our playmaking and shooting. We have some centers that are vertical threats as well, so we can really put pressure on people above the rim, but also stretch them and make the court big and difficult to cover.
Next question comes from Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Hi there. I'm wondering in this year where a pandemic is happening and you're a new head coach, Steve, if you're viewing this as a completely different training camp than anything that anyone has kind of ever gone through, and that's how you're planning it, or if you're taking a traditional training camp and picking other coaches' brains that have done that and building up from there, even though this year is kind of so different?
That's a great question, Malika. I don't know if I have an answer. I would say that we definitely come in saying let's be fluid and flexible because, as you know, any day things could change. So we have to be able to roll with it and be able to adjust and adapt. Fortunately for me, I have an incredible staff. So they're making me confident and comfortable, and we're building something together. It's very collaborative. So I'm able to lean on my experiences, but also their practical experiences as head coaches or assistant coaches. And so we have, almost always a consensus, and we elicit everybody's opinions and try to build that consensus in a smart and strategic way.
Next question comes from Greg Logan with Newsday.
Hi, Steve. I'm just wondering if you can tell me how much your offense will look like the offense you played with D'Antoni and Phoenix, and like the offense he used the past 4 years. And have you guys discussed ways to tweak it or fit it to the personnel in a unique way?
I definitely think there'll be similarities, but I also think, it's clearly the way we played in Phoenix is very common to today's game. So you look around the league, a lot of teams really look in some ways similar to that. But we will, have some similarities, but you also have to really consider and blend with the personnel you have. So, and some of that is strategic, some of that is organic, and we're going to let it, grow and let those understandings and relationships form and try to create an offense that is heavily built upon the personalities and the skill sets of our players.
Next question comes from Bruce Beck with NBC New York.
Hey, Steve, you have a lot of weapons. How do you get guys to share the ball, to be unselfish, to utilize all of the options that you have?
I feel really fortunate we have an unselfish group. I think we have guys that enjoy playing the right way. You look at Kevin Durant, KYRIE Irving, they're not only incredible basketball players with huge skill levels, but their IQ and acumen is incredible. They're instinctively very intelligent on the court. So, they take the lead there. But, you look at the depth we have, there isn't, any ball stoppers more really. So I feel really fortunate that is an asset and a strength of our team, that we have depth. We have multiple guys that can shoot and play make. We have centers that can, dive to the basket and be a threat. And so you have a lot of balance there, and guys typically, in this group want to play the right way. We really want it to be, Jock Vaughn will lead the defense and Mike D'Antoni will lead the offense. But, we really want it to be very collaborative. So we want everyone to have input on both sides of the ball. I think in some respects, I've gone this direction more so because I'm a rookie coach, and I want to be able to look to one person to say, what are we doing here? What's our adjustment? Where are we in context of our schemes at either end? So, and perhaps if I had been doing this for a bunch of years, we may be completely flat, and we all are collaborating. But I think we want the spirit of collaboration. But those two are going to lead each side of the ball.
Our next question comes from Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. First and foremost, happy belated Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoyed that time.
Thank you.
You and your family. Can you give us a status update on Kevin and Kyrie as it pertains to their injuries, and how far along they've come in their rehab? And I guess as a second to that, how do you see, or how do you envision those two playing off of each other on the court when they can finally take the court together for the first time?
They both are in great states of health, so to speak. They're healthy, in shape, and look great. So that's obviously the best scenario for us after a long layoff for both of them. The way they play off each other is a gift. They both incredibly skilled, talented, both can score, play make, and also intelligent. So they will be a great partnership out there, and they also will be a great partnership for other guys on the team, because of how diverse their skill sets are and how many things they can do with the ball, how they make people around them better. And so, we're fortunate to have two players of that caliber.
Our next question comes from Otis Livingston with CBS New York.
Steve, we hear so much about culture around the NBA. What's going to be the culture under your team, and what are they going to be known for?
Good question. Culture is, a system of values and behaviors. So, hopefully if you want to know what we value, I think it's competitiveness and connectivity. So hopefully you're going to see a team that is incredibly competitive, connected, has a great spirit, and loves the game. And that's the type of atmosphere we're trying to create here at the practice center. And hopefully that emulates our style and what you see and feel when we're on the court.
Hi, Steve. You guys are only playing a couple times in the preseason game-wise. Do you have any idea yet how much, or if you'll use both Kevin and Kyrie in that situation? And given how long Kevin's layoff is and how short this preseason is, how soon do you envision any player can kind of be ready to go once the season starts?
Well, the second question is maybe both of them is constantly to be determined and to be analyzed. We have to be very fluid, and we have to constantly be willing to adapt and change course, analyze where we're at, and make smart decisions. But we want to use those two preseason games to get ourselves prepared as possible to play the real thing. So, we'll see. We'll see the state of their health through training camp, their energy levels, what they need. But those games are important for the group in general, just to have those dress rehearsals and to prepare us to play and get off to a start where we're organized and prepared and confident enough to go out there and compete at a high level.
Steve, thank you for doing this. Hope you and your loved ones are well. You mentioned that Kevin and Kyrie are in great health, but leading into this season, the 72 games, are there any plans in place for them to kind of have regular rest, maybe sit out a game that's scheduled in advance? Or do you, if they're healthy, are they going to go all 72?
I would say there's no plan in place, but it's probably unlikely that they both play 72 games. It's been such a layoff for both of them, and in particular Kevin, with coming off one of the toughest injuries to deal with as a basketball player. We have to be very careful with him and his adaptation process back into the game. Kevin's done everything you could have ever asked to put himself in this position. He is truly a gift for all of us, with not only his talent, but his love for the game and the joy he brings in the building every day. Perhaps we have to protect him from himself in a way, because he brings so much joy and passion to the sport. He's so eager and hungry after such a long layoff in his prime. But but he's done all the hard work and he's put himself in this position. And now we have to make sure that it's a sustainable adaptation and that he's